Hi, Julie Torrens here. Well, I've been sick and I appreciate all the well wishes and concern that people have been sending me. But let's not think about all that. Let's do some watercolor. I've got two flowers here that I'm using a little different technique and I'm hoping to share it with you. So I've got right now in my hand a number 6 snap from Princeton, and I am going to start here, and I thought we'd make one like this and one like this, but different colors. So I'm going to start out with a yellow. Mine's called Cad Yellow, and I'm using my Rosa Gallery, and I'm just going to make a circle. It does not need to be perfect. And then below, I'm going to make an oval. Now, I have had a cold, so please forgive me if I'm coughing or snorting or whatever. If it gets too bad, at least I can edit. Pardon me. That's not too bad. Okay, while they're wet, but they're not puddly, I'm going to add some more color. So I'm going to go into what's called umber. And I think you can see this spot where I've got already some yellow and umber mixed together. I'm going to grab just a little more umber. And I'm going to put it, now I'm going to have to decide a dark side and a light side. So I'm using this side as my dark side. And I'm just putting dots. And I'm letting it flow wherever it wants. Just dots. And if it doesn't flow at all, don't worry about it. Okay, I am going to put, well, I've got the pigment way on the edge, just a little bit of this. Grabbing a little more and just around the edge, a little more. And I'm just doing dot, 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 dot. Okay, good. Rinse. And we're going to leave these alone now, the two circles. And instead of blue, I'm going to pick two reds. So I've got, and I hope you can see, these two reds, carmine and madder red, pretty close together. Then I have bright red. This is very cool, leaning towards blue. This one is very warm, leaning towards orange. So I could do bright red, and then they call this flame red. I call it orange. Why don't we start with those two? And we'll see what we get. How good are you at seeing? I'm going to just slide over just a little bit. What I'd like is to not get paint there. So I think I'm just going to grab a sheet of paper and I'm going to set it here, just so I hopefully don't get the rest of my watercolor paper wet or dribbled. And I am using my Amazon Basics watercolor paper. Okay, so I'm going to get some of this bright red and I'm going to put it right here, and not using it too watery, but not thick like poster paint. So there, I think that's pretty good. And I'm just going to put dots. I'm going to knock this water off of the ferrule. And I'm just going to put dots, but leave a white space. It's probably about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch. Error on the side of too big. And all the way around, fairly close. Same thing on this one. Outside, fairly close together. The dots are close together. But I'm keeping that 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. All right, rinse. Dab, dab. I'm going into flame red. I need a little more water. And I'm putting it right next door. A little more water, a little more color. Okay. And I'm gonna, not as many dots. And if they touch this, it's okay. But I definitely want at least some outside. And I'm gonna put a couple in, okay? And just like this. And these outer ones, if they're a little bit bigger of dots, that's okay. All right, rinse. And I'm going to make sure I don't have water on the ferrule. I'm going to dab, dab. And now I'm going to put my brush back in the water, but just about that far, just the tip. And I'm not dab dabbing. And now I'm going to just grab both of these lines and make a petal. And I'm going to rinse. I'm dab dabbing, making sure I don't have water on the ferrule, just the tip. And I'm going to put another petal in a different spot. If I leave some white space, that's okay. Now, I don't feel like my brush needs another rinse. I don't feel like I'm getting way too much pigment, so I'm just going to wet the tip again. And pick another spot. Nice. Wet the tip. And I'm going to put one right next door. Okay, just the tip. And these are going to overlap a little bit. Just the tip in the water. And this one's going to overlap a bit. How you doing? Are you following along or just watching? I just put the tip in the water. That's not a perfect petal, but they never are in nature. So don't worry about the, the little bumps and wrinkles. Okay, one more. Couldn't even hardly see that one, huh? It needs a little more water. Just put the tip in again. Now, any of these dots that I didn't blend in, I'm gonna push them in now. I'm just pushing them in. I mean, I'm gonna see some of the dotty look, but I don't want any dots that weren't touched by water at all. Okay, we're gonna do the same on here. I just put the tip in. On this side, the petals are gonna be smaller because they're really kind of falling back a little bit. So these are smaller. These are longer and narrower. Now these dots are older, so they may need just a little more oomph to get them going, but that's okay. So longer but narrower. That one got a little wide. We don't care. Now these can be the widest and the longest. I'm just putting the tip in the water. And I am not putting these petals in any specific order. I'm just working my way around the circle. If I feel like skipping a space, whatever. I'm just moving around the flower. One more. Just put the tip in. I'm not dabbing. Okay, now, any dots that look like, I just put the tip in, that look like they're haven't really been touched, I'm just going around and kind of blending them in. I put water, I kind of went around first, and I'm going to put the tip in. So I just kind of went around a little bit and to get them reactivated, and now I'm just pushing them out into the petals. That's good. That's very good. Okay, rinse. And I rinsed in both of my containers. And now I'm drying off my brush really good. Okay, now I want to get another ring around these, and I'm going to re-wet them. So I just put the tip in again, and I'm going to re-wet, and I'm kind of pushing around, but I don't want to completely move. I want this line to stay thinner. I want this line to stay thicker. Okay. Rinse. And I'm going to get a third color. And I'm going to go with something towards brown. So I kind of have burnt sienna or English red. And since these are in the red family, these are the two reds we used, I'm going to use this one, which is the English red. Can you see? I think so. I'm putting the tip in the water. I'm just getting some of this English red, and I'm going to put it right there. And if it picks up a little of that ochre color that we made with the yellow, that's fine. I'm getting the water off of that ferrule. Now, I'm going to do dots between where we left that white spot. If some of them blur into the yellow, I don't care. If some of them blur into the flower, I don't care, into the petals. And I didn't pick one flower over the other. I just started dotting, dot, 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 dot. And boy, have we done dots before, haven't we? Okay, I just grabbed a little bit more of that color, and I'm just dotting. Nice. Okay, I think those look good. I'm going to let those rest a little bit. Rinse. Now I'm going to go into this red, not the orange, just the red. And I'm just going to put little lines going from that brown out towards the petals. So just little lines. And if I drag some of the brown out, that's fine. Okay, same up here. I'm going to grab a little more color. Okay, rinse. Dab, dab. I just get the water off. Now I'm going to just kind of in the brown area. Well, I'm kind of going in between the brown and the petals. I don't want to completely get rid of the dot dot or the white area. But if you do, don't worry. I kind of did over here. I don't care. I'm rinsing because I don't want that much pigment. Dab, dab. going around. And now wet, dab, dab, but my brush is pretty wet. I'm still going to put the tip in there, and I'm going to pull all this out a little bit, just with water. And I'm going in the brown, I'm going in the orange, I'm going in all those colors. Just putting the tip in. And there. What do you think? It's coming along nice, isn't it? Okay, rinsing, and I'm checking the time. Yeah, we're doing good. All right, now I want to add another color into my inside of the flower. So I'm gonna, a little bit wet, just a little bit wet. I'm going to, again, re-wet a little bit. Re-wet a little bit. Now, I just dabbed on the paper towel. I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to use this umber color. I'll show you. It's this one right here. Looks like that. Grab a little water is what I meant. I'm going to put it right here. And you'll say, well, that's a pretty small dot. It is. I don't need much. Okay. And I'm going to just start kind of outlining where we were. You know, I'm leaving there. That dark area, I'm going to do it over here. Nice. Little bit here. Little bit here. Good. Rinse. Dab, dab. Now I'm going to grab a totally new color. I'm going to grab sepia. I'll show you. Sepia. It's this. Tip in the water. Grabbing some sepia. Again, I only need a little bit. And that seems pretty good. I got water up here. There. And now I'm just going to outline what's left of that yellow. Just like this. Nice. Good. Okay. We have achieved pretty much what we have. Now I'm using a very dry brush. I just washed it out good. I just dried it good. It's pretty dry. And I'm just going to pick up, dab on the paper towel, pick up, and I'm just bringing that little yellow spot back. But it'll never be the same. And it's good. I'm just getting rid of the harsh lines. And just making it a little blurry. If you feel like you lost too much yellow, go grab some. I'm grabbing some. My brush is very dry. There, I grabbed some. And I just added it back a little bit. That'll be fine. Over here, recovering the yellow. And recovering some yellow. I'm not scrubbing because I don't want to raise the fibers of the paper. That is looking good. Okay. Take the smallest brush you have. I have several, but I'm not going to go crazy small. I mean, I could go down here, which is, this is a 5/0. This is a 2. So I'm going to take the number 2, get it good and wet. Dab, dab, rolling off all up there. Now I'm going into the orange, this one, just with the tip. And I'm going to add just some little veiny things, like little folds, like that. And I'm trying to follow the lines of the flower. That one has 4. They don't all have 3, you know what I mean? That one can have 2. Nature doesn't do everything in some kind of perfect symmetry. I'm going to do the same here. And I'm just grabbing the tiniest bit of paint. I'd rather do it twice than have to try to remove. Some of these lines are a little bit broke. Fine. Nice. Okay, what do you think? Pretty good? And we did this all in 20 minutes. That's not bad. When they dry, they're going to look a little different, but I think you're going to like them. All right, rinsing well. Rinsing well. I think you need to let these dry and take a look, but please give it a try. And if you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll be doing some more simpler step-by-step watercolors really soon. In the meantime, if you look down here, a video is going to come up just for you. About 10 minutes a piece, and I think we've got some beautiful flowers. See you soon.